What is going on, X community? Access Stomp here, and today, people, we're going to be doing a new segment on the channel called, as you can read, Low Tier Legends. So a lot of people know me as the person who uses low tiers the most, and the person who really tries to get the most value out of the lowest tiers. So we're mostly going to be focusing on tier 4s and tier 5s. If something, let's just say, moves up from tier 4 to tier 3, let's say these get outdated or whatever, you know, we can always change that. But anyways, let's move on. So anyways, yeah, as you can see, we do have Stunfisk. Today this is going to be episode 1, so we're going to be going over Stunfisk. So let's get into it. So, Stunfisk's base stats are pretty decent. We got a great HP stat. Anything in the triple digits is always pretty good. Attack is 66, which, you know, it's low, but it's usable. Defense is 84. Special attack is 81. Special defense is 99. So all those stats are like pretty good. Like in the 80s, are always decent. They're always definitely usable. And then speed is down at 32. So 32 speed, yeah, it's pretty low, but you could definitely work with it because like a lot of Pokemon are in the 30 speeds, so you can actually outspeed a few things, which is pretty funny. But yeah, we got some cons here before we go over some pros. Stunfisk does not have pivot, which is pretty big for it, considering that it is an electric type and it doesn't have Volt Switch. It doesn't have the even U-turn. It doesn't have flip turn. It doesn't have any of those moves that would definitely help out its kit. Speaking about, moves that would help out its kit, no Scorching Sands. They added in Scorching Sands, which is Scald, but it's like a ground type Scald. It's a little bit weaker than Scald, I believe. But it would be Stab for Stunfisk, and it would give it something else to use besides Scald to burn people, which is it would be really nice. It would like save a slot in your move pool, so you don't have to run Scald if you want to burn someone. So yeah, that's another big one here. It is slow, like I mentioned before. I don't see it being faster. I don't see this as really a con per se, because you're drafting it at tier 5. It's gonna have some flaw at least. So it being slow is not the biggest thing, because it's not really supposed to be fast. And then it is lacking recovery. I didn't say it has no recovery, mainly because it does have Pain Split and technically Rest, so they are usable here, but Pain Split with a high HP stat, it doesn't work that well, because you don't want to have a high HP stat when you have a lot of HP, or when you have Pain Split. And then Rest, it's really not reliable unless you're using like a Chesto Berry or you have an aromatherapy Pokemon on your team. So here we got pros. This is a little bit brighter than I remember putting it on, but don't worry, guys. This is episode 1. All right, I'm testing things out. So pros here, we got the thick HP stat, that triple digit HP stat at 109. This thing can basically take every single attack as long as it isn't super effective, which is awesome. And it's so tanky, which is so nice. It's both physically and specially defensive. So if you need a specially defensive wall, you can do that. If you need a physically defensive wall, you can do that. And this thing is it's a monster in the defense category. It does have rocks. That's another big one, because if you're picking a defensive Pokemon, you're going to want some sort of hazard, usually lower down in the tier. And so yeah, that definitely will help out. Then we also also see that it does have a good defensive ability. Limber, guys. Limber is such a good ability for a ground and electric type. Limber basically makes it so that no, I'm kidding. Static. Static is its best ability. It pretty much is only really usable one. It's all right. Like, so static is probably the best in my opinion. Well, maybe not the best. Maybe not the best, but definitely one of the best defensive abilities, because you come in on, let's say, a physical flying type move, like let's say a Talonflame, dual wing beat. It's first of all, you're gonna be resisting it. Second of all, it's gonna be hitting you twice, which means it's 30% chances to paralyze it, which paralyzing a Talonflame is actually pretty good. Yeah, so it has a really good defensive ability. You're 99% of the time gonna be running static. Does have priority. It does have Sucker Punch, which can be good. It has a decently low attack stat, but it is usable. It's definitely, it definitely can hit some faster ghost types like Gengar or Dragapult, and do a good chunk of damage depending on how much attack you have invested. And then it also has Scald, like we said before. So it does have another move that it can use to burn, as well as it can also hit the ground types that can come in on you and threaten you out. You can use Scald to hit it on the incoming switch and potentially burn it. Like, let's say it's a Diggersby, potentially burn it. We saw that our last match in the EDL. So yeah. So overview for Stunfisk. The Pokemon itself, it's probably one of the better tier 5s in the game, more or less, depending on what tier 5s are available in the actual draft that you're playing. But it's a really nice cheap wall. So if you need a cheap ground type wall, it's there. It's a weird typing, ground and electric, but it is definitely something that is unique. So if you want both of those typings, you only have one pick left and it's a tier 5, it's definitely pick Stunfisk up. Like, people sleep on Stunfisk, and I was sleeping on Stunfisk as well until I started using it in the EDL, and I've been having fun with it so far, and it's such a good Pokemon to really use. But yeah, I'm gonna move on to the showdown sets, so I will see you guys there. Alright, we are back. So starting us off here, we have the standard Stunfisk set. This is the one that you're mainly going to be seeing if you see a Stunfisk either on the ladder or in draft. You're mainly going to be seeing this one, and this is the more solid set because it's just the easier one to use. We got Rocks, we got Earth Power, we got Discharge for that Parrot chance, and then we also have Toxic. So again, this is pretty standard set. The defense, it could be in special defense. Most people run it in defense over special defense, mainly because it's almost at 100 special defense, and the defense stat is 15 points less than its special defense stat. So putting it in defense, number one, means that you're going to be using static a little bit more because it is on contact moves, and then number two, its special defense stat is already better than it, so might as well. Then we got a Bandit set. Some of these are actually, like, I haven't seen them before, so but it is something that can be used, so just keep that in mind. This Pokemon has a decent amount of potential here. So we got Choice Banded, of course, static, because what else would you use? We got Earthquake, Stone Edge, Aqua Tail, and Sucker Punch. I believe you can use, there's Lash Outs in here, Foul Play's in here as well. Rock Slide if you don't want to miss as much. You know, you got Bounce, I don't know. But yeah, this Pokemon, you know, it has some good physical moves because, like, you know, the only thing that it's lacking, actually I should mention this before. The only thing that's lacking is a physical electric move, and that the only thing that it has is Spark. Spark isn't that bad. It does have a 30% chance to paralyze the opponent. So, like, let's say someone uses a physical move that has contact on you, then you use Spark on them. You know, that's 30% chances to paralyze, which is pretty good. And with the paralyzed chance, you know, you got the 32 speed, which if it's like a slowish Pokemon, I don't know, let's just say it's an Azu and you get it paralyzed, you could do a ton of damage with Earthquake. So yeah, definitely keep a lookout for what it can outspeed after something gets paralyzed, because there's a decent amount of Pokemon that it can outspeed that you'd be surprised that it would, and knock out with like a hit. So yeah, we got a choice spec set: Earth Power, Thunderbolt. This can be discharged if you want. Surf, and then Sludge Wave. These 4 moves are extremely solid for Stunfisk. I think it has a really nice special move pool, because, you know, it has Sludge Wave and Surf, which are really good moves to hit stuff like a what's called a ground type with Surf, and then grass types with Poison. So yeah, definitely some really good moves. Plus, 81 special attack is nothing to laugh at. And like I said, you can always, this isn't like, you don't have to run max HP or anything. You can always like test out certain things and figure out that kind of stuff, because these aren't 100%. So yeah, we got T-Wave Veil. So this one's really interesting. I just made this on the spot. I was like, how can I use Veil here? So we have Sandstorm, we have T-Wave, we have Mud Slap, and then we have Infestation. So you trap something in, you Sandstorm and T-Wave them. So they're basically, they can't hit you. Then you just keep Mud Slapping them, so they can't hit you even more. It's pretty evil. You know, it can be decent when you're using it with like maybe Toxic Spikes on your team. It wouldn't be bad. Like, you don't need T-Wave per se, or if you're using just like maybe hazards or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's a weird set. I don't think this is really ever gonna be used, but you know what? It's interesting. It's really interesting. We got the Curse Rest set. Again, another set that I haven't really seen before, but I actually think this one would be really nice. We have Curse, we have Sucker Punch, we have Earthquake, and then we have Rest. So, I was trying to maybe fit in Pain Split, but I couldn't really fit it in because of its HP stat being so good. So, yeah, I'm showing here that you can really mix and match with attack and HP and whatever you need, because, again, it's a Pokemon that you could really put stats into whatever you want, and it will probably work. So yeah, you're gonna want to put it mostly in special defense because you have Curse to really get up your defense stat, and then maybe focus on your attack stat and your HP stat here. We have Earthquake because that's its best stab move physically, and then Sucker Punch, of course, because you're going to be lowering your speed. So having Sucker Punch against stuff like a Dragapult or a Gengar, like I said before, is really nice. And then Resto Chesto is such a good combo with the Stunfisk because it has such a large HP stat and some good defensive stats that this could actually end up working. And then this is like the other things that you could use. The EVs aren't, you don't need to look at those, but like stuff let's just say Limber. Limber is a thing, like I said before. It can't be paralyzed, even though it's a ground type and electric type, which both can't be paralyzed. But with Reflect type, let's say you copy a water type. I don't know, Golduck, right? Then you can use stuff like Surf, and it'll be Stab Surf, and also you'll have Limber, so you can't be paralyzed. Now, I never ever recommend Limber, unless they buff it and maybe make it so that electric types can't hit you in general, or electric types do less damage than you. Limber as an ability is very, very bad. So yeah, Reflect type, it's interesting. You could use it if you want to like meme, but it's not that good. Foul Play. Foul Play could be used on the standard set. It could be used in a lot of cases. If you're using it against, let's say, a Dragapult. I keep bringing up Dragapult because it's such a popular Pokemon that using Foul Play actually hits it really well here. But Pain Splits, again, it is interesting. You could make your HP stat or IV 0 and try to make it as low as possible so you can use Pain Split more, but it doesn't work as well. And then we have Magnet Rise. Magnet Rise is interesting. If you're using it, let's just say, I guess again, against a Diggersby. Diggersby can come in, you'll use Magnet Rise, and then it can't hit you with its Stab Earthquake. It'll have to hit you with a Return, which will then, of course, give it a chance to get staticked. So yeah, pretty good. And then for an item, you don't have to run Leftovers. I think I have Leftovers on every single one except for that Chesto one. Oh, well, no. But Shuka is very good if you don't want to run Magnet Rise. Shuka is pretty good, or any berry in general that it's weak against, like, I don't know the berries, but the water one and the grass one, it could be decent. But yeah, guys, that's it. That's all I wanted to say about Stunfisk. Definitely look forward to more episodes. I know this is just a hint, I'm going to be making episodes on Pokemon that I have been using very, very recently. So, I know that there's an episode coming out with, I guess, Colossal. I'll just say it. There'll probably be one with Drifblim because I use it in a lot of my draft leagues, like EDL Season 4, and GPL. So yeah, definitely look forward to those. But yeah, if you have any recommendations, definitely let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll take whatever you guys say. So like, I'm gonna be doing the Colossal and the Drifblim one, but of course after that I'll make a list and look through the pros and cons, and this is really mainly to help out the people that are new to Draft League and they don't really know too much about the lower tiers, because not a lot of people do. I'm gonna be honest. When I joined Draft Leagues, I knew that not a lot of people knew tier 5s that much, but yeah, this is mainly to help out those people. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, of course, let me know in the comments. I don't really care if you guys leave a like or not, but it'd be appreciated. Let's see if we can get like 10 likes on this first video. But yeah, I will see you all next time. Peace.